Hey guys, welcome back to United Red Devils 20. How is everyone doing on early hours of Monday morning? On Monday, the 29th of August 2022 this year. Hope everyone's looking forward to another brand new day in August. Hope everyone's looking forward to their day. Hope everyone's looking forward to the start of another brand new week in 2022. First of all, do me a massive favour for me. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to my YouTube channel, which is called United Red Devils 20. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner if you're new. Remember to share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and remember to always remember to put the notification bell also to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2022 this year on my YouTube channel, United Red Devils 20, including more Fortnite content, FIFA 23, GTA Online. We've got Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4, the new SpongeBob game, more match reactions, more previews of United games, and much more brand new stuff planned for the rest of 2022 this year. So please subscribe. This is your Premier League match preview for Manchester United's upcoming Premier League away game in the continuation of the 22-23 Premier League season, our fifth game of the Premier League campaign, and we are away to Leicester City on Thursday night football. It is live on the BT Sport 1 HD channel. It is an 8 p.m. evening away kickoff for United, and a game that Manchester United simply must win. Obviously, we've got back-to-back wins recently against Southampton and Liverpool, and hopefully Manchester United can make it 3 wins in a row in Premier League succession. And hopefully Man United can start challenging for top 4, trying to get back into the Champions League for next season, and maybe even potentially a title challenge. I still think we're miles off that at the moment. I think City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs and Chelsea are now starting to set the pace, and I think we're now seeing those teams come into form. And we are taking on a very, very weakened Leicester City side, and I think Leicester City are in very, very big trouble for relegation from the Premier League this season. I think Leicester are going to struggle to survive in this division with the amount of players that have been sold by Leicester and they're getting rid of. Clearly summed up how Leicester City are operating in this transfer window this summer, that they've not really brought any players in, they've not got really any squad depth, and they're going to lose a lot of their first team players. Obviously, they've lost Kasper Schmeichel to Nice in France. They've also are going to lose Wesley Fofana as well to Chelsea in a £75 million deal for the centre-back. There's also rumours that Tielemans is off from Leicester as well. Also, potentially James Maddison will leave as well. So I think we're taking on a Leicester City side at a very, very good point for Manchester United. With how weak Leicester are at the moment and how badly they have started this season, with them now rock bottom of the Premier League, something I did not see Leicester being bottom of the Premier League at the start of a new season. I just didn't expect Leicester to be where they are today. I expected Leicester to be a better team, and I think losing the players they're going to lose is really going to damage Brendan Rodgers' reputation at Leicester, and I think he's potentially heading towards a sack if results carry on the way they are at the moment for Leicester. But I think this is an opportunity for Manchester United to continue that winning run in the Premier League and get 3 consecutive wins in a row, and potentially get back into the top 4, because obviously we are going to need teams to drop points around us, and we are going to need results to go our way as well, because as long as Manchester United keep winning, we'll keep climbing up that league table, and as long as teams around us start dropping points, Manchester United might be okay this season. I don't know how well this season's going to go. I don't see where we're going to finish in the Premier at the moment, because it's very, very early to tell. But I think Leicester's mentality at the moment is trying to stay in this division. I think if Manchester United were to hammer Leicester City Thursday night, I think Leicester City are going to get relegated. I mean, it would be sad to see former champions getting relegated from the Premier League, especially what they did under Claudio Ranieri. And now under Brendan Rodgers, I think this is 3rd or 4th season syndrome Brendan Rodgers is now suffering at Leicester. I think they're in real deep trouble. I think if it's 4 or 5-0 Thursday night, I think Leicester City are going to consider sacking Brendan Rodgers, because they don't seem to be the team they were from last season. I think losing Kasper Schmeichel was a massive mistake. I think losing Fofana for £75 million, even though he wants to move to Chelsea, I think Leicester should have held out for a better fee. And I think that's a major blow for them in defence. Will they spend that money to reinvest it? I think if they also lose Tielemans as well on deadline day, because the game is on deadline day, so we will be live right throughout transfer deadline day, right throughout the 11 o'clock deadline, and also we'll be doing a match reaction to Manchester United's game away at the King Power Stadium from Thursday night, and hopefully Manchester United can get the points and get another win in the Prem, because as long as Manchester United keep winning, things will start being steady in the ship, and hopefully Man United can get the result and get the victory we need. I think the game is there to be taken to Leicester. I think if United can dominate the ball, and I think if they can dominate possession, Manchester United should be fine, and they should get the 3 points easy. I can't see Leicester City being a major threat for Manchester United on Thursday night. I think if Tielemans doesn't play and James Maddison doesn't play, if they both leave on deadline day, I think that is going to be a major blow to Leicester, losing 2 of their star players, especially against Manchester United, because I think losing Schmeichel and then Fofana is going to be a major blow. And if I think they then lose Tielemans and Maddison, I think Leicester City are facing a different direction of path this season. And what I predicted Leicester would finish mid-table, but I'm sad to see them struggling, because when they won the season under Claudio Ranieri, it was nice to see someone doing so well in the Premier League and winning the title. But they've seemed to have gone severely backwards this season from last. It seems like Leicester City have been figured out under Brendan Rodgers, and I don't think the players are backing him, and I think their board have thrown Brendan Rodgers under the bus this summer, and I think Leicester City fans expected a lot better than what the transfer window has provided so far. I mean, a backup goalkeeper at Leicester is a very disgraceful window, in my opinion. If that was me as a Leicester City fan, I would be asking what the fuck is going on at Leicester, and I would be questioning the board and the owners, thinking, why haven't they spent the money? Have they been waiting to sell Fofana? Did they get anything for Kasper Schmeichel? I think they only got $1 million, which is bad for a goalkeeper of the quality Kasper Schmeichel is. And I think they are waiting for Fofana to go through. And I think they're also waiting for the sale of Tielemans and maybe James Maddison, because I think both those players will leave on deadline day. But Manchester United simply have to go to the King Power and play well. Obviously, we got hammered last season when we went to the King Power Stadium away. We got absolutely ripped apart by Leicester. We deserved where we finished last season. Leicester was simply the better team, and Solskjaer really should have been sacked after that game when we got hammered, because it was a very bad performance. Especially we were 1-0 up and we absolutely bottled the opportunity to beat Leicester away last season, and we couldn't even beat them at home either. So it shows where Leicester are now to Manchester United. I mean, Manchester United will get the win. I'm confident the 3 points are going to happen. I'm confident the W is going to be next to Manchester United's name. And I'm confident Man United are going to get the win. I can't see nothing more than a Manchester United win. But hopefully, I think Leicester City are going to be under huge pressure to try and get a result. And they always seem to turn up against Manchester United. I think if they do have Maddison and Tielemans available, which I don't think they will, because I think both players will leave, they are going to offer a severe threat to Manchester United. And I can see both players causing problems for that Manchester United defence on Thursday night. I just can't see how we are going to be able to cope with the James Maddison and Tielemans threat. But I don't think both of them will play. I think both of those players are going to eventually have to leave Leicester, because I think both players want to step up in quality. I think they want to step up in their careers. And Man United really have to take full advantage of Leicester's demise at the moment. It's sad to see Leicester where they are, but that's the owners they've got. I mean, I expected a lot more when their son took over, because obviously their owner did die in a helicopter crash, and Leicester have seemed to have drifted so far away from the chasing pack. And I think Leicester, if they start getting cut adrift at the bottom, I seriously think Leicester are going to go. I think Leicester City could go down. A team I did not predict would be battling relegation from the Premier this season, especially with the teams of like Fulham, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest getting promoted. But it's probably down to the owners. It's probably down to Brendan Rodgers not fully getting backed by the board and by his owners. And I feel sorry for Brendan Rodgers, because he's a very good manager. But obviously something's going on at Leicester City behind the scenes for him not to get the backing he wants and not to get the players he needs. And I feel sorry for him, because it's not very fair on a manager that's got quality that is basically needed for Leicester to survive in this season. But if they do get hammered on Thursday night, I think questions are going to be asked of Brendan Rodgers' tactics. And I think there are going to be questions on why Leicester have not spent the money they need to spend, because if you see everyone around them, Wolves are spending money, Newcastle, your Fulhams, your Bournemouth, your Nottingham Forest. I mean, Nottingham Forest have signed 18 brand new players. I mean, I would fancy Nottingham Forest to absolutely smash Leicester at home and away this season. I would fancy Nottingham Forest to do a job on their side, because if they do lose Maddison and they do lose Tielemans and they're not playing Thursday night, the advantage that's going to give Manchester United in the midfield, because they ain't going to be seeing the threat of those two. And I think Jamie Vardy, why did Jamie Vardy get given a new contract at Leicester as well? Especially how he's so riddled with injuries and the amount of injuries he picks up and knocks he picks up. I think Leicester City really needed to strengthen. I don't understand why Iheanacho doesn't seem to start a game for Leicester now. I don't understand why Leicester haven't spent the money they have needed to spend, because that's Leicester City. They're former Premier League champions and they're struggling mentally and physically to be able to cope with this Premier League challenge. Maybe we're going to see three teams who we didn't think would get relegated actually get relegated from the Prem. Maybe all three promoted teams will stay up in this division. It depends on if Leicester's and your Everton's and your Wolves and your Villas start getting cut adrift of the chasing pack. Because I think if Leicester do get relegated, that team is going to get dismantled very, very quickly. But they'd probably be favourites to come up for next season if they do get relegated. I still think Leicester are going to get out of this. I can see Leicester picking up points. I can see Leicester picking up wins. But the main focus is that Manchester United get that result at the King Power Stadium Thursday night. I mean, it's always a tough place to go. As I explained last season, we did get destroyed 4-2 and we were embarrassing under Solskjaer. And he should have been gone then. But I think Manchester United have got a team now, hopefully, this transfer deadline day moving, because it shuts on Thursday night at 11 p.m. Hopefully Man United are still going to be able to buy some more players while we are still playing a game of football. We do need to pick up the points. We can't afford to get cut adrift to top four. We can't afford to keep dropping down the league. And we can't really afford to lose any more points, because I don't want to be back in the Europa League next season. I do not want to be in the UEFA Europa Conference League. We need Manchester United back in the Champions League next season. And I just can't see how Manchester United is going to get there if we can't still beat teams like Leicester. I mean, these are two tough away games back-to-back. You've got Southampton and Leicester. They're two teams that always seem to turn up and play well. But lucky we beat Southampton, even though the football wasn't that great. But I think Leicester City is going to be a different task, because they always seem to turn it on against bigger teams around them. They seem to play well against your Chelseas, your Arsenals, your Liverpools, your Spurs and Man City. Leicester City always seem to turn up against the big guns. And then against teams like Southampton's and your Fulhams, they seem to really struggle. And I think that's probably down to mentality. And I think Leicester could smell blood Thursday night. You never know. They might surprise United and United get absolutely battered. But I can't see nothing more than the Man United win. I would be shocked if we don't have the 3 points, because if we can beat Southampton and then if we can beat Liverpool, there's no excuses why we cannot get the win on Thursday night. There is no excuses from that Manchester United team that we do need the points, we do need the win, and we need to be successful this season. This is a very, very make or break season for me. This is Erik ten Hag now. This is Erik ten Hag style of Man United. He wants to get the club back to the top. He wants to win titles. He wants to win trophies. And I think if he can start building the squad the way he wants the current squad, we can go places again. But it's important that we're going to teams away like Leicester and beating them convincingly, putting in a good performance, keeping a clean sheet and playing some good, attractive football. And I think you still saw some major issues and cracks in that performance from Southampton. But I think Manchester United now have got a team capable of beating away teams and getting points off them and actually doing the double over a few teams now, because I'm more confident now of beating Leicester than what I was a few days ago, because you saw last season how bad Manchester United were and how bad the football actually was. It was horrific to see the football Manchester United, my beloved team I love with all my heart, play the way it did, getting dismantled by Leicester and their players, getting embarrassed by the manager we had, and we were getting bantered and laughed at. We're not having that now. Yes, we've started the season poorly, but we've won back-to-back games. We've had 2 wins in a row, and we've kept a clean sheet. We want that again on Thursday. I want fight. I want commitment. I want some desire. I want some will, and I want some passion from those group of players, because those group of players have got the capability of doing well as a team. They've got the team we're building. The quality is now starting to add. You add more quality to that team, Man United should be fine. But this is Manchester United we're talking about. We always get very hyped up after 2 wins, and then all of a sudden we're crashing back down to earth again. That's what we do. We're very, very inconsistent. But I think the way Leicester are now this season, Manchester United should have the confidence to go to the King Power and get the win. I mean, with the players we've got, I mean, no disrespect to Leicester. Look at your defence. Look at your midfield that's going to get dismantled. Look at your attack you've now got. Leicester, if you've got Sancho, Rashford, and Elanga running at the back four of Leicester, Leicester are going to be bricking it because they're going to think, how do we stop that threat of Man United's front three? Because you don't see confidence in Johnny Evans anymore. Fofana's gone. Sionchu, you don't even really see him play now. The only really attacking threat they've got is James Maddison. I think James Maddison is key to Leicester's success because he can pass the ball, he can move the ball, he can take corners, he can take free kicks, the amount of long-range passing he can do, the short passing he can make, the passes he can see what no one else can. And really, I think James Maddison is the only threat because if you take Tielemans out and you've not got Fofana, Leicester are going to struggle really, really badly. Leicester will struggle as a team. But I expect this to be a tough game. I do not expect this being convincing or even worse, maybe even a defeat. But I don't think we will lose. 2 seconds. My telly's got a habit of turning the soundbar off, would you believe? So I had to turn the sound back on. But yeah, I can't see nothing more than the Manchester United win. I can't see why we shouldn't win Thursday. I think if we play the way we did against Liverpool and we do that to Leicester, I think Leicester are going to be in for a very, very tough night. But if United start losing the ball and don't start maintaining the possession and we start giving away the ball and we're playing stupid passes, we're trying ambitious passes we can't make, and United start losing the ball and we've got the Leicester players running us like a pack of lions chasing a pack of hyenas, Man United are going to find this extremely tough to cope with. They will. They'll find it tough because Man United really should be beating teams like Leicester. Your teams like Bournemouth and your Fulhams, we should be beating them because the caliber of club we are compared to them, no disrespect again, we should be beating teams like them because they're not really a big team. Leicester have been a successful team, of course, they won the league title. But now I'm seeing a completely different team than what I saw in Leicester last season. Completely different style of football. Players that aren't going to be there are going to be gone. And they've not really improved their squad. I mean, what have Leicester done? They've brought Danny Ward in as a goalkeeper. Does that shout out as a confidence to Leicester? No. And Man United have done that this summer. You look at the team we've got and the players we haven't been brought in, you can basically say Brendan Rodgers, possibly Jurgen Klopp, and then probably Erik ten Hag have all not been backed properly because Liverpool are now crying out for midfielder before the window shuts. Man United are still trying to buy players. Leicester have basically brought in a goalkeeper who basically won promotion for Huddersfield in the playoff final a few seasons ago. What confidence that give Leicester fans? For me, I would be scared where this season's going for Leicester City. I would be really concerned what they're trying to do as a club because they seem to have stepped back from the glory days of what they were. Maybe they are struggling financially. Maybe Leicester are losing money. I don't believe they are. I think a lot of excuses are being made for football clubs struggling. So I don't think they are. And you know why I keep saying they are using a certain excuse as an excuse not to spend money because it isn't there when it is actually there. Because you look at Man United, look at the money we're now spending. And apparently it wasn't there a few weeks ago. Well, it's clearly there now. So what team would I go with for Manchester United on Thursday night? I think the way we played against Southampton, I would still make a few changes. I would still continue with David De Gea on goal. I thought he was very, very good. I thought his distribution was good. I thought his passing ability was good, and some of the crucial saves he made to prevent Southampton from getting an equaliser. I would start Diego Dalot at right back. I don't really want to start Diego Dalot because I still think we need a better right back, and I think there's plenty of better right backs out there currently that Manchester United could do better with. The centre-back partnership, I would not change it. I would still stick with Varane and Lisandro Martinez. I thought both of them were crucial to the win against Southampton at the weekend. Left back, I would still keep Malacia because I think Malacia is now adapting to be probably the left back for Manchester United future. I can't see a future now for Luke Shaw with the way Malacia has been putting in man of the match performances in back-to-back games. He's been a quality sign under Erik ten Hag so far, and basically shows how crap Luke Shaw's been the last few seasons. Probably one of the main problems in the United dressing room, leaking stuff out of there to the press and having his friends in the media. So I would still stick with Malacia. What I then would do, the midfield, I would still change again. I'm still not convinced by McTominay. I never will be convinced by McTominay, and I will never be convinced by him. I wouldn't start Fred either. I noticed a major difference in quality when Fred was brought on and McTominay was still getting used. I noticed how the lack of quality that midfield seemed to have, and Manchester United seems to struggle with those two in the midfield partnership. It clearly doesn't work, and you clearly don't need even midfielder now at Manchester United. You don't need either of them. So what I would do, I would start Christian Eriksen again. I would also start Bruno Fernandes in, because I thought those two at the weekend were crucial in that midfield battle. And Christian Eriksen got my man of the match because of how well he played against Southampton. I mean, that magician of a player, what he had to go through with his health, and look at the great comeback he's had for Manchester United. I mean, it clearly shows Manchester United got a player in Christian Eriksen who can still deliver on the ball. So I would still start Christian Eriksen. I'd still start Bruno Fernandes and name him captain, due to the fact he got the goal at the weekend, and he was also crucial with Eriksen in that midfield, what basically won the midfield battle for Manchester United. What I would then do, I would drop McTominay. I would then drop Fred. I wouldn't put either of them on the bench, because both of them are not good enough. We've been saying this for years. McTominay and McFred are not a midfield duo to get excited by. And I would start neither of them against Leicester, because I think they would cause Manchester United so many issues that it would break down the play we could have. So what I would do, I would give Casemiro his full debut and start him against Leicester, because he is a CDM after all. That is what we brought him for. So Casemiro, for me, especially when we paid 60 million for him, Casemiro has to start for Manchester United. You don't bench a Champions League winner and you pay 60 million for him. Casemiro has to start now. You saw it against Southampton. McTominay is not up to standards. So is Fred. The amount of possession they lose, the amount of balls they give away, the stupid passes they make, the tackles they put in, it simply isn't good enough. I want better than that. And you've got that position solved. You've got the CDM now, so why not use it? Don't put Casemiro on the bench again, because it will backfire. Because Leicester will not be scared by McTominay. They won't be scared by Fred. They're going to realise, God, they've brought Casemiro, but they're still using McTominay and Fred, basically. Leicester are going to smell blood if they, because Fred and McTominay are basically two Duracell bunnies, and their batteries keep getting charged up, and they do little pivot turns, and they just run around a bit. I don't want that from them. They're not good enough. Roy Keane has said it. I've said it. Many other United fan channels have said it. Many other United fans. McTominay and Fred aren't good enough. They're never going to be good enough. And if you could sell both of them before deadline day shuts, get them sold. Sell McTominay, sell Fred, get them out and get replacements. Because we deserve better than that. We deserve better than McTominay and Fred. You've got Casemiro here now. If you really want him to be the future behind Man United's midfield, you start him in the position he played for Real Madrid in the CDM. Something we've been relying on, we've not done and not purchased for the last 3-4 seasons. And it's funny we're sorting it now. That's because Casemiro has got quality in him that Man United are lacking him in the midfield, because McTominay can't do the CDM position, nor can Fred. They're more forward players. They're more attacking midfielders. We don't need that now. We've got Casemiro to do that job, is defend the back four and keep possession and stop the attacking threat of Leicester running at Man United's back four. You don't need that now. That is why Casemiro, for me, starts. So that's the midfield, the defence and the goalkeeper sorted. Then what I would do with the attacking front three? Well, obviously, we've got the deal agreed for Anthony, so obviously he won't be available for Thursday night, which is a bit of a blow, because it would have been nice to see his first appearance with the Manchester United shirt. What I would do with the front three, I would be dropping Elanga, definitely, because I don't think Elanga is cut out for this division. I don't think he's cut out for Manchester United's ability for the Premier League. What I would do, hopefully if Martial is fit, and we're praying he's fit for Thursday night, I would start Martial down the middle. We really need Martial to be fit Thursday. Start him down the middle. Then what I would do, you potentially would have to start Marcus Rashford on the left, because he's not a right winger. And this is why we've had to buy Anthony from Ajax, because we've got no left-footed right winger. So start Rashford if you've got to. And then what I would do, I would start Jadon Sancho then on the right. I think Sancho is now showing the player we brought him in for, and he's showing potential skill and quality he is now going to offer Man United this season. I think we're going to see such a better player in Jadon Sancho than what we did under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Under Erik ten Hag, he seems transformed because we brought him from Borussia Dortmund and Ole basically benched him straight away. That's not what you do to a £75 million right winger. You basically start him in the first team. You don't leave him on the bench because what's that doing to his confidence? And you've noticed in Jadon Sancho, the quality and the competence is back. Something I think that team was lacking. It was all jobs for the boys last season. It was all mates rates. I still think it is now. Some aspects of Man United, it is still all jobs for the boys. It's mates rates FC. But Man United have basically are going to take time to change. Of course they are, and it's going to take a different mentality switch than what it was under Solskjaer. But these players get bollockings if they perform badly. Ten Hag ain't going to sit there and let them get away with bad performances. He's going to go absolutely crazy. He's going to go nuts. Those players did need a rocket up their ass. They basically Man United had to ask NASA to borrow a shuttle to put up their ass and a few shovels after that to dig it out to wake these players up. These players did need waking up. So that's the front three. And people will say, what about Ronaldo? Well, I still think Cristiano Ronaldo will still be a Man United player Thursday night. I don't think they'll get rid of him. I don't think they'll sell him. But if they do sell him, they're going to have a replacement. Because you can't rely on Marcus Rashford. He ain't good enough. I've been saying for years, since he had that shoulder surgery and that ankle surgery, Marcus Rashford has never been the same player since. And I think his mentality has gone to his head. I think Marcus Rashford doing all these free school meals and stuff, I think it's gone to his head because he's got an OB or an MBE. His focus has gone from football. And since he's had those problems with his shoulder and his ankle, he looks like a completely different Marcus Rashford. He doesn't take his chances. He closes his eyes when he's through on goal. And he doesn't convert his chances. And he's too inconsistent. He keeps going for the ball away and making magical runs like a wizard, trying to get past 1, 2, 3, 4 players when you know he can't do it. But that's Marcus Rashford. But the problem is, what option do you have? Because if Ronaldo is gone Thursday, we are going to have no choice but to start Marcus Rashford, Martial and Sancho. We ain't going to have no choice because Anthony ain't going to be there. If Ronaldo goes, we are still going to be screwed. We do need to replace Ronaldo before this transfer window shuts on 11 p.m. Thursday night. Man United are going to have to spend some more money. Anthony's not enough because if you don't replace Ronaldo, where are the goals coming from? Because what if Martial gets another injury? Out injured again? What if Rashford picks up an injury? We're basically relying on Alanga, Sancho and Anthony. You can't trust Alanga because you saw how shit he was against Southampton. He's too inconsistent. And for me, he is not the level of a Manchester United player. He is so inconsistent. He gives the ball away so much. He thinks he can do skill moves like Messi. And for me, he's teacher's pet. He does as he's told. He does what the manager tells him to do. He does a few runs, makes a few good passes, but that's all he offers. He offers no threat on goal. He can't score goals. He's got no pace. And for me, he's a very lethargic striker. He basically, I'm not being funny, it reminds me a bit of Ivan Toney. He's a hold-up man. He holds the ball up to make other players run onto his forward passes. That doesn't work. And the problem is, I think Ronaldo is going to be in that squad Thursday night, but it would not surprise me if we sell him and then we're relying on Rashford, Martial and Sancho. But the thing is, all three of them ain't good enough. Anthony can't play as a striker, nor can Jadon Sancho. So if they do let Ronaldo leave before Thursday, they've got to find a replacement. But I still expect Ronaldo to be in that squad Thursday night. I expect him to be on the bench, and I think he will be used in the second half. But if Ronaldo does want to leave, they better be finding a replacement very, very quickly. And what will that replacement be? I have no idea. Because I know Napoli wants Ronaldo, but they do not want to do a swap deal with Osimhen and Ronaldo because Man United do not want to pay Ronaldo's wages in full while he's at Napoli. Osimhen would cost the earth to get. What are Man United going to do? I've got a really bad feeling they're either going to get Aubameyang, which I would take. I mean, I would take Aubameyang at Manchester United any day of the week because he's better than Marcus Rashford. Or they're going to bring Memphis Depay back. Would Memphis Depay work back at Manchester United? I don't know. I'm very cautious of what Memphis Depay is going to do at Manchester United if we bring him back. I mean, he's available on the cheap as well. So Man United are going to be rubbing their hands together thinking, right, we got rid of Ronaldo, we can get Memphis here on the cheap. Give them 8 million, we'll get that deal done. That's a striker to replace Ronaldo. I mean, that would be player number 7 because we're after a goalkeeper and a right back. So that would be new signing number 7 or 8. So if Man United find a replacement for Ronaldo quickly and they can get Depay in and bring him back and see what he can do, give him a second chance at Man United to see if he can succeed, or maybe do a loan deal. Maybe do a loan deal with Barcelona and say, look, can we have Memphis on loan and see how he does, and we'll think about putting in a buy clause if he's good enough. But do I get excited if Ronaldo leaves and Memphis come back? No, I don't. The only thing about Memphis, he's got age on his side. He's only 28. Ronaldo's going to be 37. Ronaldo hasn't got age on his side. But for me, I would start Ronaldo Thursday. I think you've got to. If he's still in that squad and he starts the game on Thursday, I think he will. I think he will start. Because if we've got no Martial available, I think play Ronaldo down the middle with Rashford on the right, and I would put Sancho on left and they can rotate. But do I think Ronaldo's going to be? I don't know. But I want him to be part of that squad because it's impossible to replace Ronaldo because you're never going to find anyone as great as him to be replaced by. And Ronaldo doesn't want to leave. I do not blame him for wanting to leave. He wants Champions League football. But if that can't be provided at Man United, which it obviously can't because we're not in it and we're in the Europa League, but they can't just go with nothing. They've got to replace Ronaldo quickly. And they need to get it done before Thursday because we're going to need that backup. Because if we've only got Alanga and Rashford Thursday, I don't see how Manchester United win. Because the midfield will be all right. It'll be the attacking front three again, which is still the major issue. But I just got a gut feeling Ronaldo's going to be something keeps telling me that they'll keep Ronaldo and they'll use him as a backup. Because I think in big games, he's going to get goals. And the thing is, you've got to replace all the goals Ronaldo scored for Man United last season. They've got to replace that. If you don't replace it, what hope does it give? Because he could be crucial for Man United on Thursday if he does play. He could be absolutely crucial. But if he does play, then I would still back Ronaldo. If he does play and he scores goals, I will still back Ronaldo. But if Erik ten Hag thinks it's best to get rid of him and not have him in the squad Thursday, then you've got to back Erik ten Hag's decision. He is the manager after all. You've got to back him. But I just honestly think Ronaldo's going to stay. I think he'll be the backup and they'll keep him on the bench. But will Ronaldo want to be on the bench for most of the season? No. He'll want to play games. But if he's not willing to change his attitude and mentality and he still wants to leave, you have to get him out of the football club. But then again, I keep saying you can't blame him because he wants to be in the Champions League, Mr. Champions League, scoring goals and keeping his record up. If Man United clearly haven't got that, have they? You're going to have to let him leave, but you can't not replace him. Because like I said, you lose Alanga or Rashford or Martial to injury, we're screwed. We are screwed. Ronaldo would be crucial in a game like this against Leicester because he could break beyond the back four of Leicester, get his head in the box, score a few goals, and the result's there. And hopefully Ronaldo will feature Thursday night, but you never know what Man United are like. They might get rid of him. We're just going to have to wait till Thursday to see what the club's decision is. Will it be the last time we saw Ronaldo in the shirt last weekend against Southampton? Was it the last time? I hate to think it will be, but it's sad, but the main focus is we need the squad, we need a team together that's going to fight this season. We need the quality up front to be able to deliver goals. And if we don't have that, what hope have we got? So hopefully Erik ten Hag is going to go with a strong team. I think personally, he's going to keep the same team as Saturday, but the only change I think he'll make, he'll drop McTominay and he'll put Casemiro in the CDM position, which is his preferred position. This is why we paid Real Madrid the big bucks. £60 million player, you don't bench him. He's miles better than McTominay. McTominay's not needed. Fred's not needed. Start Casemiro because he can control the ball. He can take pressure. He can be in front of the back four, making passes, long passes, short passes. He's miles better than McTominay. please start him on Thursday because Casemiro, I think, is going to be crucial towards this team. Because if you keep using McTominay and Fred, we know which way the season's going to go. We know the way Man United are with certain players. There is favouritism. And if McTominay and Fred are starting Thursday, there is clearly something going on behind the scenes at Manchester United for certain players that have to start games. Maybe it's how much we paid for them, or maybe the Glazers and the board are interfering in Erik ten Hag's management and they're telling him certain players have to start games, certain players have to be on the bench. We're making the decisions, you're not. But I don't think Erik ten Hag would let that happen because I think if ten Hag was going to let that happen, I think he would walk away and resign as manager and would be on another interim and then looking for another brand new manager. If they were interfering, ten Hag would walk because he's the manager. He makes the calls. He makes the decisions. And I hope he sticks to the decision he makes. Keep Maguire on the bench. Keep Luke Shaw on the bench. Keep McTominay, keep Fred, Elanga and Rashford as far away from that Man United first team as possible. Keep them away because they are not the future of this club anymore. Luke Shaw, injury prone. Harry Maguire is not a captain. He's not a leader. He is not an inspiration. He is a B-Tech basic Phil Jones. Leicester saw us coming and they robbed us of 80 million. We should have never gone anywhere near Harry Maguire. That is why he's on the bench. Because Ten Hag is looking at that centre-back partnership with Varane and Martinez and he's fucking loving it. He doesn't have the confidence in Maguire. He doesn't have the confidence in Luke Shaw. He doesn't have the confidence in Lindelof because Lindelof's nowhere near that team. He needs shifting as well. So there's plenty of changes Man United need to make before that transfer window shuts. If you get offers in for some of these players, please bloody take it and improve the current squad. Because I don't want to lose Ronaldo and not replace him. I want a backup goalkeeper next. Then I want the right back. Then I want the striker and maybe another midfielder. It depends on how much more money Manchester United are determined to splash before this transfer window slam shuts on Thursday night. They've got to spend it. But hopefully, the main focus is when we do the Premier League match reaction Thursday night, join me for that on my YouTube channel, United Red Devils 20, by subscribing bottom right hand corner if you're new. Hopefully, we're going to be sat here positive and not negative. I want to be able to do a third successful match reaction saying Manchester United have won again. Hat-trick of wins, 3 wins in a row. We're closing in on top 4. We're closing in on our rivals. Man United seem to be heading in the right direction. We can't afford to drop points Thursday because teams around us are going to drop points. And we need them to drop points. We need the big guns to drop some points on Thursday, Tuesday and Wednesday because there's a full Premier League fixture schedule this week. And the fixtures are, as I go through them with you, the fixtures are on Tuesday, we've got Crystal Palace against Brentford, Fulham against Brighton, Southampton versus Chelsea, Leeds versus Everton. On Wednesday, you've got Arsenal against Aston Villa, Bournemouth against Wolves, Man City, Nottingham Forest, West Ham against Spurs, Liverpool against Newcastle. Then on Thursday, obviously, you've got Leicester City against Manchester United. And hopefully, Man United are going to come out on top. Because if Man United fail to win on Thursday, we're in big trouble again. It'll be 1 step forward, 2 steps massively fucking backwards if we lose on Thursday, or even a draw. I am not taking a draw or a defeat. Man United have got to go to Leicester on Thursday and win. We need to keep winning now. Get this mentality of we are here to win, we're here to dominate again, and we're here to get this club back to the top where it's not been there for nearly 10 fucking years. We need a trophy this year. We can't afford to go 6 years without a trophy. We need to get back in the Champions League, and eventually we need to challenge for that Premier League title. Because otherwise, we know what's happening in 18 months. Ten Hag's going to be gone. Interim's going to be brought in, and we're then going to be looking for another permanent manager who's going to want his own new players, and he ain't going to trust that current crop of shit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to my YouTube channel, which is called United Red Devils 20. Please subscribe, bottom right corner if you're new, and to share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and remember to always remember to put that notification bell all times to receive dedicated content right throughout 2022 on my YouTube channel, United Red Devils 20. We've got more Fortnite content coming, GTA Online, Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4. We've got plenty of FIFA 23 career mode, prediction series, and game modes we're going to do. The new SpongeBob game, more Premier League match previews, live watch-alongs of the Champions League, UEFA Europa League, last 16, quarter-final, semi-finals, final. Much more brand new stuff planned. Hopefully, we are sat here Thursday night with 3 points at Leicester, 3 wins in a row in the Premier League, a hat trick of Premier League wins. Man United are closing in on top 4. They're closing in on their rivals. Join me for the match action Thursday night on my YouTube channel, United Red Devils 20. Hopefully it's a Man United win, 3 points, a hat trick of wins in the Premier League. Speak to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your day and enjoy a brand new week in August.